Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. I'm glad you're all here. Today, I was gonna go through a little video and talk about knives that are misunderstood, they're considered dangerous, they're illegal in a lot of states, and I'm talking about automatic knives. Knives that are spring assisted. You push a button or you actuate them in some way and a spring holds them in and they fly out. So I never got into automatics that much. They weren't really my jam. Still really aren't, but I've got some that I really like. But before I jump into it, I do want to say thank you to all the channel members. And I want to say thank you to anybody who takes the time to come in, watch the knife, the EDC content. I really appreciate it. If you're so inclined and you haven't had a chance yet, it would really help me out if you'd hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon. I would really appreciate it. So one of the first autos I picked up here locally at my little knife store in town, St. Nick's Knives. When I first kind of got back into the hobby, I wanted an automatic. And what I picked up was this little Kershaw Launch. I think it's a Launch 9. I think it is. I can't really remember. Let's see. USA made. I think this is when Protek was making them. This is the 7500 or 750 black. But I think it's the Launch 9. Kai USA, CPM 154, American flag. Little button actuated. Push the button to unlock the knife. And then you hit the button. It flies out, right? And this is a little California legal, kind of a pokey, Slurpee saver type knife. Not much, good for opening packages, but not much of an EDC knife, right? Most of these automatics, or a lot of them, are kind of set up for that self-defense, pokey stabby type of stuff. I typically lean against those type of blades. I'm not a dagger blade guy. This isn't a dagger. It's kind of a spear point with a single edge. But a lot of these automatics that you'll see or that you see in movies are bladed on both sides, right? Or sharp on both sides. Which usually will mean, even with a spear point like this, that you've got a real tall grind. Not very super slicey. It will cut, but it's not your TRM Atom, right? But this is probably the first. Actually, I had a Boker Kalishnikov before this. Picked this little guy up. My first made in America automatic. But that's the Kershaw Launch. We'll call it the number 9. Not too long after that, I'd been collecting knives for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, and I had a Protek Malibu. I really had been pleased with Protek's quality. I just wasn't into automatic knives. But I'd seen some reviews on this knife, and as an EDC knife, it's really suits me because it's kind of like a gentleman's folder. It's that small, narrow, minimalistic package. The blade's almost 100% hidden in the blade or in the body of the knife. You've got this nice smooth aluminum body. You've got this button that releases this S35 VN blade. This knife is very slicey. It's also very pokey, right? So you've got a deep carry clip. You've got a really nice satin S35 VN blade that is very much aggressive splinter digger if I needed it to be, right? So a very nice acute tip with a very slicey edge. So this was kind of my first EDC automatic, if you want to call it that, switchblade if you want to call it that. I don't know why they call them that. But automatic knife, and it's been one that I really enjoy. Fantastic knife. Again, I've enjoyed it because it is such a gentleman's carry type of knife. Where I live, these are completely legal. It's not a knife that I would take to the office that often, just because a lot of people they misunderstand them, right? But this is the Protek Newport. It's an S35 VN. This one's black with satin. Super sweet little knife. One of my favorites because, again, it is so understated. But yeah, I wanted to bring that one in, talk about it. It gets a lot more pocket time than the little Kershaw does, but the Kershaw has gotten a lot of use over the years. So as we move on, we come back to Blade Show 2023, and I've never been an out the front guy. I've never liked daggers like I was telling you guys, but I spent some time with John and Jody over at EMP EDC's booth, and this is before the Pulse OTF came out. This is the one that was OEM by Bestech. He's now got one that's made in America. If I'm not mistaken, Axial Knives is making that for him. But this is a wicked Wharncliffe blade that is set up for EDC use because it's slicey, it's a hollow grind. You've got a very nice point for doing those utility cuts. The spring is delightful on this knife. It's just very easy to open and close. This is, again, an out the front, the Pulse OTF. So it's, you know, designed to disappear back into the handle. This one's in Magna Cut. Again, laws are a little bit different on out the fronts versus an out the side knife like this. This one comes out the side, this one comes out the front. They're both legal in my state, but, you know, check your knife laws before you go down that path. A great place to do that is kniferights.org. They even have an app for your iPhone or your Android, so you can put in your state, find out what your knife laws are, and that's at kniferights.org. I'll leave a link in the description. But the Pulse OTF is a fantastic automatic knife. Great EDC knife. Very, very EDC friendly blade. Nice hollow grind. Quality materials. OEM by Bestech. Big fan of it. Like it a lot. That is the Pulse OTF by EMP EDC. The next knife I got was when I was getting into my Strider infatuation. So I'd gotten the Ifengro EF225, which goes, it's copy, clone, whatever you want to call it. Not a clone, copy. Anyway, not a great thing, but it did make me appreciate the design. So I could not find an SG at the time, but online I did find this little Protek PT207. I found this little guy at, I want to say Northeastern Outdoors. What's it called? I always forget the name of that company. Anyway, I'll try to link them below when I remember. I buy knives from way too many companies. But anyway, great company. I'd ordered this knife. I'd ordered the wrong one. I'd actually ordered the smooth aluminum when I'd wanted the textured aluminum. I'll keep missing the blade, guys. That's not the knife. So I reached out to them via email. When they opened the next morning, they reached out to me and said, "John, which one were you looking for?" And I said, "This is the one I was hoping to get. Is there any way I can just pay you the difference?" Expecting them to say, "No, you know, really, we'll just need you to cancel that order and then order the one you want." I knew that'd slow down my shipping. But lo and behold, they said, "No, we just wanted to make sure that's the one you wanted. We'll send it out to you. Don't worry about paying us any different." I thought that was above and beyond any type of customer service. So I've since bought another knife from them, and I will link them in the description where this came from. It'll be the only retailer I link down there. Again, I have no affiliation with this retailer at all. I've bought 2 knives from them because they gave me such fantastic customer service. It's North River Outdoors. It just came to me in my brain. So NorthRiversOutdoors.com hooked me up with this guy, even though I ordered the wrong one. It is the small PT207 version of the Strider, which to me is a little fighting knife, but it's also a fantastic EDC knife. So much so, and this one is such a little guy. The one I wanted was the Protek SG, which is the full size. Well, one of my good buddies in the community happened to have the Protek SG, and we were able to put together a trade. So I had something he liked, he had something I really liked. So this is the PT207. It's in Magna Cut. The SG is a full size, not the SMF size as Strider, but the SG size, and it is in CPM 154, or 154 cm. It is the same blade profile, same handle profile. The clip is a little different because the clip is more reminiscent of the actual Strider clip. So to give you an idea on size, that is the SNG next to the PT207, and then I will grab you the manual SNG, get rid of that guy, and you'll see that the Protek automatic version of the SNG is exactly the same size and much more similar to the Strider. And again, spring just fires out. It's got so much thump. It's an amazing knife. I really like it. I can highly recommend any Protek automatic, but the ones that I own, the ones we've just gone through, these guys are great. We will move on to the final Protek that we're going to talk about today, the final out the side. And this is a knife that was kind of a surprise to me in a couple of different reasons. For one, it wasn't something I thought I'd like. I thought I was going to be more of a Protek Whiskers 1 guy, maybe, because this is a smaller knife. This is the Whiskers 2, the Magic Whiskers 2. And if you look at this knife, it's got a deep carry clip, aluminum body. It's a Whiskers design, 154 cm, but it doesn't have a button. The Protek Magic Whiskers, you slide the bolster. This one is a little different. You've got this kind of jimping or slotted jimping here in the butt by the lanyard loop, and you simply give it a little kick with your heel. So when you slide the scale, see how the whole scale is moving there? So when that scale moves, that's what brings my lock back up and allows me to close that knife. Very easy to do it with one hand. Fires open. It's a big knife. This is a full-size knife by every stretch of the imagination. It is, I want to say, a 3.8-inch blade. Super slicey. Super stabby. Very, very nice EDC knife. CPM, again, 154, 154 cm. Very neat bolster. Actuated. If I hand this to my mom, to my dad, both, yeah, they're old, but if I hand it to a lot of other people, they're going to scratch their head trying to figure out how to open it. I mean, if you're not a knife guy or gal, you're not going to come to the conclusion that you slide that scale to get that knife open. I think it's really cool. I think it's a good size. It makes me want the original Magic Whiskers, but Magic Whiskers 2, great knife, full-size knife. I'm a big fan of it. It's an out-the-side automatic that I don't even know if your law enforcement would know how to open it. But anyways, neither here nor there. Brings us to my most recent and final OTF automatic knife, which is probably the best value in the whole crew. This is my Max Ace Neptune. This is that knife that I picked up after seeing a review on Metal Complex or an unboxing. Deep carry clip, aluminum body, out the front. You've got this really nice textured, almost like skateboard grip tape, inset panels that makes it still, does not interrupt it going in and out of pocket at all because they're recessed, but it gives you just enough grip to where it's not slick. It's not giving you that bite, but it is giving me texture. And then you've got this spring that just fires out. This is the drop point version. They make this in a dagger and in a serrated dagger, neither of which were any, I guess, interest to me because I'm more of a cutter, right? But this is a full-size knife. It is in SLD Magic steel, but it uses a San Mai process where you can see it wrapped here around the edge. Done extremely well, and one of the sharpest automatics or OTFs I've experienced, and I've experienced a few of them, not a ton, but this guy has got a robust spring, so much so that I have to give it the side pull. I don't really have the finger strength to give it a straight back. I have to give it a side whack. But it is an absolute beast. It is an absolute boss of a knife. You do have this little glass breaker with this little hole, which I guess you could take that off, probably replace it with a screw. Might be something I do down the road. But yeah, guys, this knife, if you can get it right now, they're out of stock, but on Max Ace's website, $108. No blade play, no up and down, no rattle, absolutely solid, just a banger. So that is kind of a walk-through automatic alley here on Javon's Knife Flicks. Starting out with our Max Ace Neptune, our Protek Magic Whiskers, our Protek SG, our little PT 207, our EMP EDC Pulse OTF, our little Protek Newport Gentleman out the side, and finally, our little Kershaw Launch 9. Guys, that is Automatic World here at Javon's Knife Flicks. I hope you guys found it enjoyable. Check your local knife laws, see what you can and can't work with in your part of the world. I know this one's pretty legal everywhere because it's lower than a 3-inch blade. But guys, I do appreciate you watching the content. I do hope you found the content somewhat informative, entertaining, or, you know, educational, should we say. But all I ask is please, please, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Be up. And always choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Till we meet again. Peace.